the risk of extinction, I think, is small at where we are right now. It may be a risk that comes down the line, but I think there are other risks with some of these technologies currently.
So if I was to be a cynic then in relation to AI, the evolution of AI technology, and you must have heard this one, about people's concerns around AI replacing human workers and causing chaos, with people being laid off left, right, and center. And we could be in a position where robots are, taking over an enormous amount of the workforce. But what do you say to that, Sara? What's your view on that subject?
Yeah, and I think, any kind of transformative technology or things like the Industrial Revolution, there could be roles that are replaced. I think for the majority of people, it's probably more likely to be tasks within their roles rather than like entire jobs, although, they may. But I think on the flip side, there are going to be plenty of new jobs that get created. So we already talked about the AI ethicist, prompt engineers this time last year. Yeah. I don't think anyone was employed as a prompt engineer, and now we've got prompt engineers.
I looked at a course the other day to become a qualified prompt engineer. It takes 18 months, by the way.
Wow.
I'd love to do that. It'd be a great thing to tell your mates down the pub, wouldn't it? But
after 18 months, there'll be another 3 or 4 new technologies springing up and taking over. So the curriculum will be entirely out of date.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I guess while I think there is that risk of displacement of certain tasks and some roles, I think there's for me there's always two things. Especially that these are technologies that are designed and deployed by humans, so actually we business owners, society at large, need to be talking about actually what do we want to see and how do we want these the future of work to look like. I think that's a really important conversation. But also, I think it's really crucial that we have a culture of support so that people can access training, they can access retraining opportunities so that they can take advantage of the roles that get created. That for me is kind of one of the really important facets of Bridge AI, is the fact that we've got that kind of upskilling and retraining element. So, people can, they can understand what skills support is available across the whole ecosystem. But also, we've got some leadership components. We've got some access to training through some of our strategic delivery partners, the Alan Turing Institute, the Hartree Centre, Digital Catapult. So actually, when these tools do get adopted, they can be absorbed by the organisations because people understand them, they can work alongside them. So that for me is kind of, I think we need much more focus on education. And a lot of that, the onus of that probably falls to employers. To actually help people transition into the new roles that get created once these technologies have been adopted.
And can I ask as well, what's your take on the extinction statement? Do you have a point of view on that?
I think, for me personally, the risk of extinction, I think, is small at where we are right now. It may be a risk that comes down the line, but I think there are other risks with some of these technologies currently. So we've already talked about things like bias. We've already talked about things like job displacement, privacy and data protection. So I think for me, it's about kind of proportionality of investment. So I think, absolutely we can be looking into that, but we can also be looking into the kind of the risks that we have in the here and now. And so I guess it's kind of actually, how do you proportionally invest into those risks and make sure we're investing? I mean, UKRI, as I said before, we've got a long history of investing into responsible AI. And so I think, it's kind of about having a balanced portfolio. But I think the same is true for like the sort of the next generation of AI technologies as well, because generative AI is the thing right now. And I think that's really important that we're investing in that. It's important for the UK's position in the kind of global context. But I think we should also not be sort of blinded, like putting the blinkers on and blindsiding ourselves to other exciting developments that may come in a completely different part of the AI landscape. Because in 20 years, generative AI might not be the thing that has been the kind of the real revolutionary change for AI. So there might be other technologies that emerge. So for me, I think it's really about kind of having kind of balance across a portfolio. So we're investing in research in lots of different areas of innovation and new technologies, but also in terms of risk. So we're kind of covering all bases, but doing it proportionally and making sure that we're kind of not focusing so much on the future that we miss the risks that we're currently facing.
When you speak to businesses and they confide in you about their worries, whether it's about how to apply thinking around ethics or whether it's about how to actually apply automation in their businesses, what are the sorts of worries and concerns that they raise with you when you're having those you're going to a lot of events, you're going to a lot of roundtables, you're convening a lot of people? Just interested to see the kind of themes that are bubbling up when they talk to you.
Yeah, I think the awareness has certainly raised, because I remember when I was doing computer science, there was no ethics module or anything like that, which I think that situation is changing a lot. But so I think there's either kind of just not feeling like they really even know where to start, certainly on the maybe the more the developer side, or I think it's that risk of, what am I opening myself up for? What am I going to be liable for if I'm implementing these technologies and I don't know how to implement them ethically? What does that mean for me, and what does that mean for my business? And I think it's that uncertainty that leads to sort of inaction, even if you think actually this could be quite revolutionary for my productivity, or it just almost becomes quite paralyzing for businesses.